Alright, let me double check. I gotta get with our Artie guy. Accomplice 95. So. I was told there we go. All right, there we go. Let's get right on into it, folks. Admin Cam. We've got TPL quarterfinals, guys. Your boy Don Gotti is back. Of course, had to come back for quarterfinals, baby. We are on Cursed today. Oleg's house going to be the midpoint. You see Muddy Churn and Defense in Depth. It looks like, excuse me, HRB might have a little bit of an advantage. Having Muddy Churn as the next point, they can, you know, traverse that about 200-meter mark there. A little bit of land in between, but not a huge distance to go to get some reinforcements up there. So that should definitely help. But we are going to see, ladies and gentlemen, we should have a good one on our hands today. Artillery raining out already. You see all the guys working their way to the point. We're going to get right on up here so we can see these trucks. You see HRB getting there first. Starting to really dump on the point. Rockets coming out. You see light tank yapping off. Takes out one of the trucks. Another truck goes down off the jump for OFIN. HRB spreading out now, trying to get well set up. About 25% cap pressure now. HRB, short for Hellraisers Brazil. Got the Brazilians against the Finns tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Armor going back and forth. Not sure if they saw where it was from. Takes a rocket right in the side. I believe that was Julio, or perhaps Sosek. One or the other gonna force this armor unit to retreat a little bit. There we go. Excuse me. Now we got it set up. I can't be heard either, so that'll work. Makes for a good match. Something's falling down. We got some supplies raining down for the Axis right here. Axis going to be in red. That's HRB today, guys. We've got the blue team's going to be only Finns. The Finnish team showing up with the better record today. We had just gotten all of our TPL stuff figured out, and then I keep having something mess up with OBS, so we're just going to record it today, get in the action. Let's take a peek up here, back toward Yamki. We've got some Finns spread out. We've got a few HRB members as well. Hopefully the clarity's coming in all right. We did not have the LAN cable. We're just doing Wi-Fi right now. So as you can see, yeah, like I mentioned earlier, HRB gonna have the advantage here with Oleg's house having Muddy Churn as their backup point. You see garrisons are starting to go up. I'd like to see a little bit more defensive setup here, but so far so good. You see The Finns are working on making sure that nobody whatsoever is able to get around on these outskirts here, so good play to start the matchup. Now it's all going to come down to whether these guys are able to traverse this open field. There we go, we've got some smoke popping. Realistically, what you'd like to see is perhaps artillery. Instead of raining down with some shells, it always helps to get your guys across if you can get a little smoke screen going. You see HRB using it to their advantage as well. Werner, Vicentia, Fumichwai, Conan, Murder. We got Julio Capelau. Coho and Lancic looking to make the move. Coho pays the ultimate price. It's going to be Sosic up there. We're going to call him Sosa. Sosa, baby. HRB starting to put that wedge in between the Finnish front lines. Cutting off. You see there's an armor unit over there still. Guys are trying to get some repairs on, but absolutely surrounded. Julio looks like he's lining up for the shot. Puts one in the side. Julio coming to play. Oh, he's got Warner with him as well. I don't know if Warner's got a rocket, but another one goes in. Not the greatest shot placement in the world. Warner, you see in the bush, takes out Iceman. Conan pushes up. Armor fires a shot, gets a Rick. We've got another one coming in. Let's see, who is that? Captain Dog, I think it said. Horpy, Coho, Lancic, Picanale. There we go. We've got the smoke push that they were waiting for. Able to get about a whole squad's worth across now. This is what you like to see. And instantly changing the cap pressure. You saw the rocket come in. Armor unit drops from behind. HRB trying to do their best to withstand, but the Finns are moving in, ladies and gentlemen. If you look, yeah, that's what it really comes down to, is the Finns have control of the circle. All of the HRB are going to be right on the outskirts. We've got Fellini, we've got Saba. Fleck. Commander Fleck goes down. Finally takes the time to redeploy. Obviously, timing is going to be of the essence here with only about 45 seconds remaining until the Finns are going to be able to capture this, unless HRB is able to allocate a little bit more manpower and get their guys up here. But you see a lot of people fighting up near Yamki. Supplies going down in the distance over by the windmills. We're going to tune in back a little bit. We've got Iceman working his way up through the field, utilizing the bushes obviously on this map. A lot of open area, so very easy to be seen. I don't know if he sees Wabi or not. Julio Fumachwai. Julio drops him. Comes out of a bush, trying to get Coho from behind. The Finns managed to cap the point, so we're going to see HRB do a little bit of a reset here back on Muddy Churn. And you can also see, yeah, there's the Allied armor unit back there just kind of terrorizing Muddy Churn right now. Fumes and Wabi all alone near the point. They're going to be about the closest ones. Katusha strike inbound. I don't actually see anything that's hitting, but good placement nonetheless. You know that's where they got to be coming from. They're not going to be traversing these main fields much, so this road right here is going to be very key for HRB to maintain control of, allowing them to kind of work back north toward Olegs and perhaps get set up to where they don't just simply have to run completely through that open field. Another armor unit goes down. We've seen quite a bit of that today to start already. Fleck back here. Allied recon. Ooh, nearly takes an arty round. That's Citrog Polar Viking. And Justo Berger. Or Gabriel. Or Gabriel. Sitting there, absolutely surrounded by a sea of blue. You got fumes over here as well. This one definitely going the way of the Finns so far. I'm actually quite surprised. HRB was off to a good start. They had the initial cap. I think that's really half the battle when it comes to these competitive matches, you know. Let's take a peek up on the front line. We've got Horpy running into literally a sea of red. Duck and dodging, yeah, he gets taken out pretty quickly, as to be expected, but we are going to watch this push as HRB really just traverses in a line formation north into Oleg's house area. Might be able to get Che. If Che can work around, get on the backside of this light armor unit for the Allies, may be able to do some damage here. But time will tell. Horpy running back, using him as cover. Excellent placement here for that light tank for the Allies. Really going to be difficult to traverse any of this land here between the 2 points. The open areas on these maps are absolutely brutal. I don't know anybody that enjoys playing Kursk personally. If you're out there, let us know in the comments. But yeah, this one's a rough one. It's going to be a rough one. HRB getting behind now. Looks like they've got some recon on the backside, so that may help. That's Girico. It's hard telling how well that will go. OP obviously still standing. Already can't take it out, but does enough damage to everybody that it either kills them on impact or right then again, taking them out, making sure they bleed. Parneba, Capincho. Parneba locked in with that MG42. There we go. That's what we need to see. Utilize the suppression. Get your guys able to cross these fields. Oh, shot comes in. Che nearly misses. Already still running in. Second shot from Che hits just before he dies. That will work. Everybody getting taken out. It looks like the Finns have now locked in on this little building here. Not a bad idea. Realistically, it's going to be one of the only means of cover that HRB is going to have trying to get back to Oleg's house. So if they can just pepper this area, it's going to force HRB to really think outside the box. I look for, hopefully for their sake, for them to possibly get a some combined arms going. Perhaps waiting for that heavy, get that heavy pulled up and just, you know, stack behind it as much as you can. Gonna be a shit show either way, but one for the books. This is how somebody's season will come to an end today. Will it be HRB? Will it be OFIN? It's hard telling, folks. Both teams have made it this far, so you know neither one of them are something to play with. Quarterfinals set up to determine who moves on to the semis. Mount Zen goes down. Splash effect gets a couple. Armor unit takes a wreck from Kapalau. Man, oh man. Wonder if the armor unit... Oh yes, armor unit's gonna see Fleck, Commander Fleck, dodging the cannon now. And there goes his supply truck. He just got to the point. I don't think he saw him. I don't think anybody let him know. Hey, guys. This is here. And OFINs are moving in already, showing some dominance. Managing to traverse the field by themselves. You see Sosa for HRB up there in the distance with the MG, but he's going to be about the only one. We've got more Allied armor moving up. Conan. Vicerentia. Murder. Uh-oh, this is not good if you are HRB. No fallback garrisons. We've got nothing on ammo dump, and we've got nothing to where everyone is now coming out of the far right HQ. That's going to be HQ3, folks. See how many are in the truck. 4 passengers. That's going to be rough. This one looks like it will probably go the way of OFIN. Unless Fleck and the boys are able to really put in some work here. But you see this sea of blue just slowly constricting around the point now. Vicerentia and Horpy about to run into each other. Vicerentia hits the inside of the building. Horpy sees him through the window. Commander Fleck still lying low. South side of the point. Utilizing the bush. Most likely in his map now. Lamiko is going to see him. No, he doesn't. Fleck gets him from the back. Horpy's going, where is he at? I don't understand. Fleck manages to live to see another day. You see Picanale. Man alive. Katusha strike now inbound. Absolutely peppering any chance HRB has to reclaim this point. A good amount of HRB, yeah, you see now coming from the ammo dump. Not sure. Ah, it's a garrison that... Oh man, this is not looking good. Command or somebody, we need several squad leaders from HRB back here putting up that line of garrisons now. You know this point's going to be lost. We don't need our whole team committing. Squad leaders need to be spaced out because, look at this, the Allies now waiting on some supplies. They got about 30 seconds until they land and can get a garrison up, and there's nowhere else now for HRB to spawn. Going to be scrambling to get something up. We've got a recon unit. I don't see any support. Yeah, I don't see any support players moving in to try to get boxes down, so going to be extremely difficult to maintain here. HRB perhaps counting on just flooding these trenches and overwhelming the Finns to get the point back. I'm not certain at this point, but a little bit ill-advised in my opinion. Gonna want to do a little bit better job of setup. Garrisons do win games, folks. And here we are. I mean, we've now lost the point for a couple moments, and we've got no garrisons up yet. No defensive garrisons for HRB. Finns are going to make them pay for it, I guarantee that. Side garrison comes in. Spawn comes off of the airhead. OFIN's really in a good position here. Moving a lot of the team up. You see they were obviously set up to maintain Oleg's house. This kind of happened a little quickly, so we'll take a moment just to get everything reset, but Werner going to be one of the only ones. You see he goes down right through the open field. That's the most difficult part about this map, is once you lose ground, it's nearly impossible to retake on these competitive teams. Let's tune in back over here. Oh, yep. One guy goes down for the Finns. Che working his way back up. He's going to be leading the charge right now. For HRB, misses one with the Car 98. Takes one from Mika. Parneba. Throwing some shots down range. He's a support player. Working with the MP40 as we speak. Shots coming in. He's dodging them from Lancic. That Mosin Nagant, you see, just picking. Ah, and takes one right to the chest. Now artillery raining in, cutting off that trench line. Going to be curious to see how HRB responds here. They don't have much of a push going on as far as ammo depot goes, or ammo dump rather. Little bit of a spawn wave comes to the west of ammo dump, but they're going to focus, if you're the OFIN, you're going to focus completely on the muddy churn here. And just work to progress and push HRB back through these trenches. Mika getting awfully close to where artillery was hitting just moments ago. Takes out an OP. Sosa drops him. Vicerentia right behind. Julio as well, mounted up over there. We saw Julio earlier in the game with the rocket. I'm curious to see what he's running now. Perhaps a Grenadier class, although it looks like he's got a bolt action. So I doubt he's running Grenadier. Ooh, and Marsky comes up, drops him. Sosa. Vicerentia moving up. Marsky gets one. Getting a reload. Pops back up. Marsky's waiting for him to peek. And he connects with another. Huge play for Marsky. Drops all three HRB in sight. We've got Conan, Kapalau, Zerlitz, Tomb. Mount Zen and the boys back there trying to work that far east wall. Edge of the map. Murder's going to be one of the only ones here. Working his way through the trench. He's got some backup on their way. Gets some shots off. Manages to take one down. Sosa goes down as well. Vicerentia doesn't see him. Sepe misses enough shots with the SVT. Vicerentia is able to make him pay, but Coho and Marsky now coming up behind. Nobody else around for Vicerentia, so if he goes down, he's completely giving this land up to OFIN. So, check back over here. Ooh, Artie goes down. Lands right on the MG. We've got Mike, Finn. Some of the boys trying to do some damage over here from this western side. Namakala. Hiya. Mika. Not a whole lot going on. You see Chris trying to light up Halamari, but ends up going down as himself. Ooh, bombing run now coming in. That's going to be an Axis bombing run. Curious to see where that goes. I'm guessing here on the front line. Yeah, right over top of Muddy Churn. Spawn wave comes in. I wonder if it's going to allow him to get any. Bombing run takes out a total of 0. So not the greatest bombing run you've ever seen. Me personally, I think I would have lined it up on these trenches and made sure my guys were able to get to the end, but then again, if Vicerentia is the only one, you really don't have much choice but to go elsewhere, because if you waste it there, he's got no backup. HRB struggling to push through from the southeast of Point, right along map edge. Vicerentia with the double tip. Gets them both able to progress through the trenches. He's almost cleared them now. Throwing shots downrange at Marsky. On an absolute roll. We're going to stay tuned here, folks. Sepe ends up hitting the mine. shoots it, trying to get Vicerentia. Drops, and Sepe takes them both out. Gonna be a total reset. You see Sosa and a couple of the boys, Mandrake and Werner, working their way up, but not able to do much as of right now. Che, Chris, Mount Zen, Capilau, Zerlatsum needing to get together and progress across these fields. The hardest part is now done. You see a lot of OFIN now leaving the muddy churn, trying to go and progress on to the next point. So HRB, if they can get lucky, get enough guys across this field, they may be able to start to swing this match back one way or another. Again, I would have liked to have seen some combined arms, given that there's just nowhere to hide on these maps, but neither here nor there. We may see it here moments from now. I'm not sure. I apologize, we don't have the fancy overlays and all the cool stuff for this one. I had worked for about an hour and a half before this to get everything set up, and it was working perfect. And then OBS kept cutting out, so we'll get her figured out for the next time, I can assure you that. But for right now, here we are. Gaston working his way up. I think this is something else I've noticed about HRB, struggling to really do a whole lot. On a map like this, you want as many guys as you can with bolt-action rifles or semi-automatics. I mean, able to reach out and touch somebody, whereas Gaston here with the MP40 is going to have to hit Jorge 3 to 4 times at that range to even get him to die, you know what I mean? Just not a great way to handle it. Going to set them back at a disadvantage, that's for sure. Lancic chasing down Fellini. Fellini stuck between Lancic and Marski. Getting some bandages done. I think Marski sees him. Yep, hits him right in the back. Huge play for OFIN. HRB down to just 2 guys on the front lines here. Gaston and Malico. Garrison up on the far edge of the map. 1 behind point as well, but not enough really. If you're HRB, you gotta have and gotta utilize these garrisons. You get 8 of them, folks. And when your team can only spawn in 2 places, that's not gonna help you, especially on a map that can very easily get landlocked. Amico and Marski working their way, clearing out all the trenches, trying to come back up here, finalize this HRB push. We'll check back over in just a minute, but we got Verta, Picanale, Halamari. Just trying to see what's going on for you folks. HRB hanging tight to ammo dump. Again, needing more garrisons set up. They could have 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. You know what I mean? There's 3, 4 more areas they could get them. Which would really help the team spread out and repel this OFIN push, but we're not seeing it yet. And I wonder if that's what's ultimately going to be their demise. Picanale, Verta, Ipo Veneto. See if we can catch it. Oh, and he did. He got it. What a shot. The Stuka comes in. I'll be darned. Takes out the Allied armor. What a shot. What a shot. Rockets away. You see Capolau trying to take out Turpa there. Rocket comes in right over Chillman's head. OP goes up for both squad leaders. Look at this. Zerlot sees him. I don't think Turpo saw him because Turpo was taking out Chris. Now Zerlot just needs to move forward. He can drop that OP and really set these OFIN back. Utilizing the trench and that OP to kind of stay protected. Let's see if... Oh! Shot comes out. Jalu! Smoke inbound. I reckon that's probably going to be from HRB. If I had to guess. Yeah, you see him just peppering the area now. That's what you like to see. Muddy Churn basically unoccupied by either team. Marsky's still back here trying to work out through the trenches, but Fellini ends up dropping him. Chilman, Mika, Turpa 92 working their way through that sea of red. Capincho is going to be one of the only ones remaining down there. Parneba trying to get set up with the MG. See what he can see. Looks like most of the push now from OFIN is going to be right here on the ammo dump. We've got a whole squad's worth south of ammo dump and a whole squad's worth now working into the main circle. We've got more blue in the circle than we do red, folks, so you see the cap bar up there starting to go the way of OFIN. HRB gets a spawn wave off, starts to respond. Saba throwing up the recon flare. Coho saying, oh no. Coho in a really good spot, too. He's in the circle, which means HRB's got to now traverse, and he sees the garrison. I mean, you got it right there at the center of your screen. I don't know if you guys can see that garrison's literally right there. That's what it looks like, yeah. Spawn comes in. Coho's got to see that. Drops one. Drops two. Coho drops three. Nearly the whole spawn wave. Grenade comes out. Gabriel tossing some hot ones. Got the two of these guys communicating, trying to cover each other. Gabriel looking to work his way up. He's got the automatic rifle. He can easily move in. There, and he gets one of them, takes out Coho. That STG is absolutely madness. HRB doing a really good job of defending right now. Alamari using that PPSH, putting it to work. Chris, Malico, Fellini, Zerla. The boys are trying to make a push. Fellini's still over here. Those are grenade out. I'm not entirely sure why, but... smoke grenade. Maybe you thought somebody was there. More than fair. We're going to zip right back on over here. This is really just going to come down to whichever team decides to get that big push going. OFIN still has this garrison out to the west of ammo dump that they've had for nearly, probably about 5 minutes now, ever since they capped the last point, so... Big play still in the work. This is only a 35s match, I believe, so... Smaller teams, you see, everybody's more spread out, which makes just that more of a reason, to get to max garrisons. Really give your your team a chance to spread out and overcome these flat, open areas. But HRB starting to put the pressure on. You see Lancic, Verta. and goes down back here. Shots coming in. HRB doing as best they can, trying to utilize the cover to their advantage, but now getting to the point where they're stuck on this broken, burning house. We got Marsky, Iceman, Kirkman, Sepe, Horpy, Jorge, Jarge. A little bit of a showdown here. Parneba letting everybody know where he's at. Marsky trying to move up, make a play on him. Parneba working for the Rambo, but unable to get the gun around. Marsky's going to drop him. Marsky will see Vicentori or Vicarentia. Takes out Capincho. Marsky on a roll. Drops in Marsky. No way. Takes out Fellini. Marsky single-handedly taking out HRB, drops the OP. What a play, what a play. Bombing run is inbound. Looks like an Axis bombing run north. I wonder, very curious what the reasoning for that one was. But nonetheless, it has happened. We've got Chilman, Turpa, Halu, Marsky, Kurkaman, Horpy, Vicerentia murder, Recco getting dropped in the smoke. See Halu, Chilman, Turpa out there doing a great job of controlling map edge. Just working to make it that much harder on HRB to get anywhere on this map. Horpy going to be one of the only ones trying to hold off these about 2 squads worth of HRB. Werner, Parneba leading the charge. Final point is being lost. We've got a whole squad worth in ammo dump. Parneba lays him out. Lancet goes down. We've got Coho, Lamiko, Halamari, Sivarisako, Swarovski, we'll call him. Gaston working up, but this one looks like it may go the way of OFIN here, guys. There's not a whole lot of HRB anywhere to be found. You've got a small spawn wave coming. Recon flare goes up. They're going to know where they're at, but is it going to be a little too late? We've got a spawn wave north of point as well. I think that's really what ended up saving them here. Now they just got to work to converge upon one another and clear out any of the OFIN that are left. 49 minutes remain in this matchup, though, folks. Not a bad way to get it started, that's for sure. Halamari, again, clearing out the point. John, Murder, and the gang starting to flood in now from the south-southwest. Gariko dropping another recon flare. Pops over, they're going to see it's just Halamari. There you go, John. Oh, John finds the airhead, unable to take it out, though. He gets shot, I believe, from Badunja. Sniper doing a good job to keep an eye on it. Werner, Saba, Gariko. Halamari putting in work. Che trying to work up. Unable to keep up with the pace of that PPSH. Sepe comes in off of the airhead right before it disappears. Werner splitting the gap here. I believe he's, placing a mine. Excellent idea in these trenches. They should have more people placing mines constantly. Werner gets dropped though. Sepe having a good night. HRB Fleck. Commander Fleck creeps past. Sepe doesn't see him. Hears him though. Spins around, puts one right in his behind. And back we go. Dreco going to be seen from above as well. This is not good if you're HRB. Gabriel, you got Che working his way across the open field. Gabriel really in the only cover that this area has to offer. Sorry, I had to answer a FaceTime call there. Say, I'm going to call you back. Werner drops. That's Marski again. Marski having a hell of a night. You see shots raining in from the Allied armor over here. Polar Viking, Citrog, and Justo Berger. What once was a sea of red has now disappeared. Yet again, HRB really struggling to get these pushes going. Parnabo using that MG42 to neutralize, but we've got a good amount of HRB filing back into the point. You see everybody meeting up right in the middle here. Gabriel still utilizing that bush. Swarovski and Halamari. I'm going to have to get with somebody from the Finnish team so they can pronounce this stuff for me. So in the future, we'll know how to say their names properly, because I feel terrible about it, but we're going to give you the best that we can, and after that, well, is what it is. Adler takes out Swarovski. Said your crystal shines bright like a diamond. Alamari. Raining over the PPSH, Adler manages to hit the trench just in time before he really takes any of those bullets, but you see the line for OFIN starting to progress, working their way more and more, covering more ground. They've worked completely through the trenches up here to where Zerlit's one of the only ones. I look for the push to be coming very soon. Katusha strike inbound as well. See where that is going to land. Katusha coming out. There we go, hitting right here. Gonna cause HRB to absolutely scatter. Is that Garrison still right there? Yeah, Garrison's still right here in the bush, guys. So no cover for anybody from the Katusha strike. You see Mount Zen nearly takes one. Saba standing by, watching as well. Not the greatest Katusha strike, but enough to throw HRB off just ever so slightly more. Gaston, Conan, manning the trenches right now, trying to push east. Swarovski, Alamari, working the way up. Swarovski goes down. Alamari gets some revenge for him. Conan taking an alternative route. Going to be able to get behind, but Halamari getting the OP up. Gets Swarovski back in the game here. It's going to be up to Saba, Kaio, Gabriel. Mount Zen, you see, loaded up there with the MG42. Going to be a great placement. I'm glad to see that. We would have liked to see more of that all game. Let's tune in back this way. You see HRB Chris running into Sepe in the trenches. Sepe ends up coming up clean on it. Kapilau pulls out the boomstick. Looks like he might be planning for something. Sepe, though, continues to drop him in the trenches. Kapilau sends the rocket, does him no good. HRB now committing to the eastern portion of the map. Again, trying to find a way to traverse and cover this ground, but so far unable to do so. OFIN utilizing the high ground you see with the armor unit on the right side of your screen. Everything playing into OFIN's hand as of right now. The lack of garrisons really hurting HRB. You got one here, one on the point, and one to the west. I mean, definitely not enough. Need to do a better job of planning, getting their troops in the right place. But back to ammo dump we go. Mika Verda, Ipovineto. These guys doing their best to work their way in, picking them apart one by one. OFIN, the obvious front runner in the match, even before this point, coming in as the number 3 seed in Division 6. A nearly perfect record this season. Sosa gets him one. Ipovineto. Oh, he's got to use the PPSH. So he's running the rocket class. He's got the PPSH. Grenade comes in. Not going to be enough, but he gets tapped from the side. I don't know if that was Fellini or perhaps one of these guys over here. Might have been Gabriel. Oh, flare comes in. It's going to show everybody. Lancic Coho. Vidaneha, Horpy. Lancic happens to run right past. I don't understand. Kaio, Mount Zen, don't see him or they just lie in wait long enough. Armor unit comes out. That's John, Pizzoni, and Roger. I wonder if there's a satchel. I don't see a satchel, but that doesn't mean it's not there. We did see an engineer. Vidunaha. Fellini goes down. Lamico. Bedunia drops. Gaston. Gonna work his way. It looks like majority of the fight is now again going on the eastern side of the map. We will tune in here. You've got Impavineto and Chris exchanging bullets back and forth. Impavineto with the PPSH. Sends some downrange. Chucks a grenade. Going to be a little bit short here, but Chris could run into it. Yep. Chris yapping away. That automatic rifleman with the STG going to come in handy right now. Sepe, though, makes him pay with that SVT. Zerlet sends some downrange as well and gets him. HRB now putting up more troops than they've had lately. Is now the time they're going to be able to make it happen? Muddy Churn has got to be taken here very soon if they intend to get back to Oleg's house at any point in this matchup. Good garrison network. Yeah, you see the Finns still holding down Oleg's house just in case. Not overcommitting to Muddy Churn. Keeping their backups. Backups got a backup just in case. Chris and the boys traversing the trenches. Mika, though, making them pay. Mika gets another. Flare goes up by Mike Finn. HRB Chris. You hear the OP. Mika just meters away. Ends up taking him out. I think he might have caught his head. Was able to just see him ever so slightly. Now we gotta wait and see if he takes out the OP or not. OP comes in, makes Chris pay right away. Zerlot trying to get his bearing. Pops out, gonna get taken anyway. Mika, quite a game he's having so far. OFIN now progressing into HRB territory. This is what you don't want to see for HRB. Sepe, Marsky, two names we've called all game. And artillery working to shut down your trenches. Recon tank just barreling in. That's going to be Drew and Vilmar. Throwing some shells at the opposing point. But takes one right in the rear from that armor unit that we've got stationed over here. Sethrog, Polar Viking, and Just to Burger. Leaving him with the one tap, folks. That's what we expected to see. Mike Finn now, the only man within the point for OFIN. Verta on his way. You've got several HRB going the opposite direction. Mount Zen still mounted up with the MG42, but you got Chris, you got Werner. Chris manages to dodge a couple. Mike Finn makes him pay. Let's see. Give me a drink. Mike Finn working his way over against seemingly insurmountable odds, but Werner missing his shot, finally connects. Verto, Lancic, and Pavinato, Badunia, Mika, working their way in. Conan, Carter, Capelao, Sosa, Commander Fleck, doing their best to reclaim this eastern side of the map, but I don't want to count anybody out yet, but by golly, OFIN has now progressed past really the point of no return. Rocket comes out. They're trying to shoot into the HQ now. Not holding back whatsoever. Turpa going to run into Zerlot and the HRB commander. Verta, Halamari, Mika, Horpy. Werner taking out Mika. Conan throwing some shots. Maybe he was shot from behind. I'm not sure. It looked like some STG was flying there, but I can't imagine we had a friendly fire. Gaston working his way around. Look at that. In the distance. He said, we're going to get back. I just need to get in there and satchel that point. Murder Conan. Two of these guys working their way around in tandem. Lancic, Impavinato, Verta, Swarovski, Halamari, Mike Finn, Orpy. Facing off against Fellini. Fellini tosses a nade, doesn't get anybody. Few shots come in, not going to land. Verta goes down. Fellini ends up paying the price. We start to see contesting. Garrison for HRB still right here in the bush, right below us, guys. OFIN now going to have middle HQ locked out. This HRB garrison's going to be the only way they can get back to the point. We were at about 88 meters from it. Fellini, Gabriel, Adler spawning, but not going to be enough. One of them drops instantly. Two of them drops. Adler going to be the only one left. We're at about 30% cap weight. This is not what you want to see for HRB. We got too many guys just simply out of the way. We should have been working to really ground and pound this middle ground. I don't know why we've got so many guys heading up to windmills. I mean, sure, you're going to want to take that gun out. I get that, but just a bad situation to be in if you are HRB. And now taking shots most likely from the windmills now. Big spawn comes off for HRB. Not going to be enough. We're still seeing progressive cap weight go in favor of OFIN. This one might be over in about an hour's time, folks. Bombing run comes in. This could save it. All of OFIN is stacked right on top of each other, but the angle is off. Ends up missing, takes out maybe 3-4 of them. But the vast majority is still here. That's Impinedo, Mika, Halamari, Savari Suko. Giant spawn wave comes in from HRB. Full reset. Let's get a bigger picture here. Watch as HRB tries to flood back into the circle. They definitely have an overwhelming presence yet again. Slowly but surely clearing out the OFIN lines. What? Zerlo over here putting in work. What we thought was going the way of OFIN now looks to be coming to a conclusion. Zerlo gonna have to get in there and get some of these guys from the back. A couple of them drop in rapid succession. Bedonia. Grenade goes out. Spawn comes in. That's a good nade. Those are good nades. Definitely gets their attention. Verta ends up taking him out before he's able to get down in the trench, but another airhead comes in for OFIN right in the same spot. They know exactly where they want it. It's protected by this broken building. Verta's going to sit here to protect it, make sure nobody takes it out. Great work from OFIN. Katusha now coming in right around the HRB garrison. You see Mount Zen goes down. Parnaba going to be the only one left with the MG, and they are down as well. So no suppression going to be happening against OFIN. We're at about 30% cap. We've got Vicarentia, we've got Gabriel. And we've got no Garrison. Garrison has been taken out, folks. You see it was just right there in the bush, so nothing here. OFIN now with an overwhelming presence. Gonna come down to this. Somebody gets a grenade off, takes out a whole cluster. And every single HRB has now just been completely redacted from this point. We're at about 60% cap. Werner, Dr. Recco, Carter, Commander Fleck. All or nothing right here. Do they have it in them? Fleck goes down. Parnaba, Fleck. Dreco, Carter. Dreco, Carter, both go down. Parnaba only has the MG42. He's spraying and praying. It's not going to be enough, though, folks. Everything is completely locked out. We've got about 5 HRB, and a whole spawn wave comes off an OP now to instantly neutralize any cap pressure that HRB was putting on. This one is going to go the way of OFIN. Congratulations, OFIN, for passing the quarterfinals. We are going to see you in the semis. Very curious to see who they end up going against, but what a matchup. Just over an hour's time, we end up seeing OFIN taking the dub here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, going to give Coppolis my commendation there. He was on Artie. Looks like he had a pretty decent game there, but wowza. What a matchup. What a matchup. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Obviously, we don't have all the cool overlays, unfortunately, but it'll be alright. We'll get there. We'll figure it out for the next one. Make sure we got a test run coming in, so make sure you like, subscribe. We're working our way to 1,000. Once we get there, all proceeds will be getting donated to charity, you guys, so help us get there, pass it along, share the link. Forget about